Did you know that the whisper of a blue whale, a sound that can travel for hundreds of miles across the vast, dark expanse of the ocean, can be completely silenced by the roar of a single container ship? This is the reality of our modern world. Beneath the serene surface of our planet's great oceans, a relentless, invisible network of traffic is thrumming with activity. These are the ocean superhighways, the vital arteries that carry the lifeblood of global trade to every corner of the earth. They bring us the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the technology we depend upon. It is a system of extraordinary scale and efficiency, a testament to human ingenuity. Yet this very system casts a long and menacing shadow over the marine world, a world we are only just beginning to truly understand, a realm of breathtaking beauty and fragile complexity. And the constant passage of these colossal vessels introduces threats that often go unnoticed on land. Imagine the busiest motorways on Earth, stretching not over land, but across the boundless blue. These are the ocean superhighways, not paved with asphalt, but defined by currents, weather patterns, and the shortest, safest distance between 2 points. For centuries, mariners have charted these paths, today more congested than ever. Over 90% of traded goods move by sea, in the bellies of tens of thousands of gargantuan ships. Container carriers, oil tankers, bulk freighters, the workhorses of the global economy. They move in an orchestrated procession across the globe, invisible lines with very real impacts beneath. The Strait of Malacca, the Suez Canal, the English Channel, hundreds of vessels each day through delicate ecosystems. Each ship is a moving factory, engines, vast fuel tanks, and cargo from grain to hazardous chemicals. Their journeys connect civilizations, but fragment the ocean. To stay stable, ships take on ballast water, teeming with life, and discharge it across oceans. A routine procedure, now a major vector of ecological disruption. The most immediate and pervasive danger posed by ocean superhighways is pollution. It arrives in many forms, some visible and shocking, others insidious and unseen. Exhaust fumes from these great ships are a major source of air pollution, not only offshore, but in coastal communities hosting busy ports. Most large vessels burn exceptionally dirty bunker fuel, releasing sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, and particulates. These pollutants drive acid rain, alter surface water chemistry, and generate smog, posing serious health risks for people near shipping corridors. Beyond the air, the water bears the brunt. Ships generate sewage, garbage, and oily bilge. Regulations exist, but enforcement on the high seas is difficult. Small, chronic leaks from thousands of vessels can rival a major spill over time. Anti-fouling paints often leach toxins that poison organisms at the base of the food web. And then there is the catastrophic spill. Rare, but ever present. A collision, a grounding, a structural failure. Millions of gallons within hours. Seabirds coated, feathers ruined. Seals and otters poisoned as they try to clean themselves. Shorelines transformed into toxic, barren landscapes. Cleanup is monumental. Ecological harm can persist for decades, crippling fisheries and destroying coastal habitats. Perhaps the most modern menace is plastic. Much comes from land, but shipping contributes. Lost cargo, spilled nurdles, and durable fishing gear. Ghost nets drift for years, ensnaring whales, dolphins, turtles, countless animals. Plastic fragments into microplastics, ingested at every level of the food chain, ultimately ending up on our plates. The ocean is not silent. It is filled with sound. The clicks of dolphins, the songs of whales, the crackle of shrimp. For countless species, sound is the primary sense. To navigate, find food, locate mates, avoid predators. But we have introduced a relentless, low-frequency roar of engines and propellers. Noise from a single large vessel can travel hundreds of miles, creating an ever-present background that masks natural signals. For a whale, It is like trying to whisper beside a roaring motorway. Songs once spanning ocean basins are drowned out. Acoustic smog causes chronic stress, alters foraging, and forces abandonment of feeding and breeding grounds. Only a few hundred North Atlantic right whales remain. Their habitat overlaps busy lanes. Noise interferes with mother-calf calls, and ship strikes rise. Noise also affects fish larvae development, damages cephalopod hearing, and weakens nest defense. Even zooplankton shows stress, shake the foundation, and the whole ecosystem trembles. Consequences we are only beginning to grasp. One of the most insidious impacts is the transport of life itself. Every large ship is, in effect, a giant aquarium, ballast water, carrying hidden cargo. A ship takes on millions of gallons of local seawater, a living soup, viruses, bacteria, algae, plankton, larvae. Most will perish elsewhere, but one survivor finding a niche can trigger disaster. Uninvited passengers enter new ecosystems, becoming invasive alien species. Zebra mussels likely arrived via ballast in the late 1980s, blanketing lakebeds, stripping plankton, collapsing fisheries, economic costs in billions, clogging water intakes. Green crabs ravaged shellfish, invasive comb jellies triggered fishery collapse. Damaging introductions mount with every ship. Once established, invasives are almost impossible to eradicate. The damage can be permanent, the legacy of a single voyage. The sheer size and speed of modern ships bring direct, brutal risks to marine life. Great whales evolved without 1,000-foot steel hulls. Resting or feeding near the surface, they are tragically vulnerable. A collision with a container ship or tanker is almost always fatal for a whale. For North Atlantic right whales and Mediterranean fin whales, ship strikes are a leading cause of death. And not only whales, slow-moving turtles, whale sharks, basking sharks are at risk. Many incidents go unnoticed by crew on massive vessels. Often the body sinks unseen or washes ashore days later, injuries telling the final story. As traffic grows and ships get larger and faster, invisible killing fields expand along busy corridors. Collisions between ships themselves pose grave dangers. Maritime choke points, straits and canals, crowded, fog-bound or night-bound, where error or failure can be catastrophic. When massive vessels collide, crews are imperiled, and so are ecosystems. Toxic fuels and chemical cargo can poison coasts for a generation. The Ever Given showed our dependence. One blockage can ripple through global trade. The hidden dangers are not confined to the deep. They wash ashore to human lives. Coastal communities, especially in developing nations, stand on the front lines. Fishing is culture and economy, lifeblood for families. When pollution degrades water and invasives disrupt webs, fish stocks decline. The once bountiful net comes back empty. Ports are hotspots of severe air pollution. Ships, trucks, and heavy machinery mixing a toxic soup. Residents, often low income, face higher rates of asthma and respiratory illness. A single tanker accident can erase livelihoods overnight. Beaches blacken. Fisheries and tourism collapse. Cleanup adds risks. Economic recovery can take years, if at all. Port growth often destroys mangroves and marshes, natural storm barriers and nurseries. Eliminate them, and coasts grow vulnerable to rising seas and stronger storms. The defenses weaken where people live. Amid the damage, a current of change begins to flow. A glimpse of greener shipping. Regulators, consumers and stakeholders are applying pressure, sparking innovation. Streamlined designs and smarter systems cut fuel and emissions, while saving costs. Fuels evolve, from dirty bunker to LNG today, and exploring ammonia and hydrogen for tomorrow. Zero-emission horizons emerge. Onboard ballast systems filter and sterilize, blocking invasives at the source. Speed limits, simple, effective, cut fuel and pollution, and give wildlife time to avoid strikes. Rerouting lanes around migrations protects vulnerable populations, without stalling trade. Ocean superhighways are a paradox. Prosperity conduits threading destruction through our largest ecosystem. We have seen the shadows and the seeds of change. We are not passive. The price tag includes the ocean's hidden costs. We must demand responsible trade and support stronger protections. Support marine sanctuaries, invest in green shipping, choose sustainable supply chains. Let us quiet our engines and listen to the sea, transforming these superhighways into pathways of responsibility for generations to come.